I am making a Red Dragon Archfiend deck profile. This deck is just really fun to play, and Red Dragon Archfiend, what more needs to be said? Anyway, starting off with the main deck, I do play one copy of Red Nova. Red Nova is a free summon control level 8 or higher Dark Dragon Synchro monster, which is the entire extra deck being Dark Dragon Synchros. But if it's used for the synchro summon of a Dark Dragon Synchro monster requires 2 or more materials, then it lets you special summon one Fire Fiend from your deck in defense position. That tells you how much that effects come up since I had to actually reread the card. And then I play 2 copies of Red Mirror. Red Mirror's effect is you can discard it when an opponent's monster requires an attack. So you can target one Fire Fiend in your graveyard and return it to your hand. And if you synchro summon, then this card can be special summoned from your graveyard. Or special summon from your graveyard. Then this card can return to your hand from the graveyard, not special summon it. Then I play 1 copy of Chain Resonator. Chain Resonator's effect is if you normal summon it while you control a Dark Dragon Synchro, then you special summon 1 Resonator from your deck. Then I play 3 copies of Synchron Resonator. Synchron Resonator is a free summon when you control a Synchro monster. And if it is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can take 1 Resonator from your graveyard to your hand except Synchron Resonator. And I want to say you can only use that effect once per turn, but I feel like that's wrong. Okay. The once per turn effect of Synchron Resonator is you can only special summon it by its effect once per turn. Then to finish off the level 1 monsters, I do play 1 copy Majestic Dragon just because Majestic Red Dragon's fun. However, if you don't want to play this, then I would suggest playing cards like Nibiru, so if your opponent builds a big board, you can get over it. Then for level 2 monsters, I play 3 copies of Red Resonator. Red Resonator has the effect of when it's normal summon, you can special summon 1 level 4 monster from your hand, or 1 level 4 or lower. And if it's special summoned, then you can target one synchro, target 1 monster on the field and gain life points equal to its attack points. And I believe you can only use each effect of it once per turn. Okay, no, you can only gain life points with its effect once per turn. Then I play 3 copies of the new Crimson Resonator, since I was finally able to get 3 of this. You'd think for a common would be easier to get, but no. Anyway, if you control the monsters, you can summon Crimson Resonator for free. And if the only other monster you control is a Dark Dragon Synchro monster, then you're allowed to special summon 2 other Resonators from your... Oh man, I haven't actually used this card, so I'm not familiar with its effect. I just remember it really helps for synchro climbing. Okay, you can summon up to 2 more Resonators from your deck other than Crimson Resonator, which is actually fine. Because I do know what you can do is normal summon a level 4 from this deck, then special summon Crimson Resonator, tune them for Red Rising Dragon. Then Red Rising Dragon brings back Crimson Resonator. Crimson Resonator's ability summons 2 more Resonators from your deck. So you can tune this to summon Red Dragon Archfiend, and then tune her with Red Dragon Archfiend to summon Bane, and then have Bane bring back the Red Dragon Archfiend from the graveyard. Then moving on to the level 4 monsters, I play 3 copies of Red Gardna. Red Gardna has the effect if you control a monster that has Red Dragon Archfiend in its name, then you can discard it so that until the end of the turn, none of your monsters can be destroyed by card effects. Which is great if your opponent, when you summon Red Dragon Archfiend, your opponent goes, oh, bottomless trap hole. Okay, Red Gardna. Then I do play 3 copies of Red Familiar. Red Familiar I've actually found useful in this deck with Its ability of you can tribute one fiend, especially on a dark dragon synchro monster from your graveyard in defense position with its effects negated. It does have another effect, but that effect actually never come up. And that effect is you can banish from your graveyard to target one dark dragon synchro you control and change its level from anywhere from 1 to 8. And then the level 4 monster I was talking about earlier with Crimson Resonator is Red Sprinter, where when it's the only monster you control when it's normal summoned, you can special summon one Resonator from your hand. Or if it's normal or special summon, while you control no other monsters, you special summon Resonator from your hand. My bad, you special summon level 3 or lower. Wow. It's been a while since I actually read these cards. I know what they do, it's just that it's been that long since I last actually read them. I play 3 copies of Wandering King Wildwind, who is another level 4 you can use with Crimson Resonator. The only difference here is you normal summon Crimson Resonator and then special summon this, because if you control a Fiend Tuner with 1500 or less attack points, you can special summon Wandering King Wildwind for free. And then during a turn other than the turn he was sent to the graveyard, you're allowed to add one Resonator from your deck to your hand. And then to finish off the monsters in this deck, I play 3 copies of Red Ward. Red Ward is a level 6 Fire Fiend that has the effect of if you normal summon a Resonator while it's in your hand, you can special summon Red Ward from your hand for free, and then its attack points are cut in half, but that's fine because normally when you're using this effect, you're summoning Red Resonator or Crimson Resonator. So normally when you summon it, you're going to be summoning a level 8 Synchro immediately afterwards. Moving on to the spells, I play 1 copy of Monster Reborn, because Monster Reborn, so why not? Then I play 1 copy of 1 for 1. Usually use to special summon either Majestic Dragon or Red Mirror, so that I can summon the Majestic Red Dragon, or yeah, I think it's called Majestic Red Dragon. And then I do play 1 copy of Scarlet Security. Scarlet Security is a Harpy's Feather Duster if you control a Red Dragon Archfiend, which I'm actually playing 4 of in this deck. I'll get to that once I actually explain. And then I play 2 copies of Resonator Command. This has the effect where you can discard a Resonator to then add 1 level 4 monster from your deck to your hand. So normally you're discarding a Resonator, but add Red Ward or Wandering King Wildwind while you have Synchron Resonator in your hand. So, I don't know. I haven't actually used this card yet. Surprisingly, in all my testing of this deck, the only cards I haven't seen yet were Resonator Command and Crimson Resonator. Then I play 3 copies of Resonator. Resonator Call, which just lets you add 1 Resonator from your deck to your hand. That's it for the spells I play. Moving on to the traps. I only play 1 or 3 traps, and that is 3 copies of Red Rain, because I love this card. If you enjoy dark level 8 or higher dark dragon synchro monster, you can banish all cards in play except for the one with the highest level. And then that monster or monsters that stay are unaffected by card effects till the end of the turn. And then it has another effect where it can return it to your hand by, I don't remember. If you summon a Dark Dragon Synchro monster while it's in the graveyard, you can add to your hand. You can only use each effect once per turn. You can only use this effect once per turn, so you can only return it to your hand once per turn. Moving on to the extra deck, play 3 copies of Red Rising Dragon. The only effect I've ever used often is its effect to bring back a Resonator when it's summoned, so usually Crimson or Red Resonator. And then you immediately go for a level 8 Synchro. And then I do play 1 copy of Red Wyvern for when I have to go first. If your opponent gets a monster bigger than it, I can have Red Wyvern destroy that monster immediately. If you don't want to play Red Wyvern, I would suggest playing a 2nd copy of Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss. Then I do play 1 copy of Hot Red Dragon Archfiend. which just blows up all other attack position monsters in play. And I do play one copy of Red Dragon Archfiend because I have a couple of friends that play Super Heavy Samurai, and this card just makes me laugh because how it just auto kills them. Then I do play 3 copies of the star of the deck, which is Scarlight Red Dragon Archfiend. Scarlight's effect is once per turn you can destroy all special monsters on the field with attack less than or equal to its own, and then burn your opponent for 500 damage for every monster destroyed by its effect. Then I play 1 copy of Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss. Abyss has the effect of where you can target 1 card your opponent controls as a quick effect and negates effects. So your opponent can go Monster Reborn, or your opponent can go Invocation. You're just like, okay, Abyss, negate Invocation's effect. And then the Invocation just fizzles. It also has another effect where if it deals damage, you can summon a Resonator from your graveyard. And then you can summon another Resonator from your... Actually, no, that's the other one. I'm thinking of Red Dragon Archfiend Bane. Bane has the effect where you contribute a monster to bring back a Red Dragon Archfiend from your graveyard. And then it also has the effect of... If it destroys the monster... If it deals damage, that is, you can summon 1 tuner from your graveyard and then summon another tuner from your deck with the same level. And then I do play 1 copy of Tyrant Red Dragon Archfiend. This one has the effect to blow up the field, just acquiring 2 tuners and 1 non-tuner monster. And then, if your opponent will activate a card effect during the damage step, you can negate that effect, and then Tyrant Red Dragon Archfiend gains 500 attack points. And I do play the 1 Majestic Red Dragon. This card can come out if you don't want to play it. I just do because I like the possibility of summoning it. And I do play 1 copy of Red Nova Dragon. Red Nova Dragon gains 500 attack for every tuner in our graveyard, so it gets really big fast. And if an attack is declared while it's on the field, you can banish it till the next standby phase to negate the attack. Now you do play 1 copy of Hot Red Dragon Archfiend King Calamity. When he's summoned, he prevents your opponent from using cards or effects for the entire turn. And if he's destroyed, you can summon 1 Dark Dragon Sinker from your graveyard except for himself. So he replaces himself when he dies. That's it for the extra deck. Moving on to the side deck. I play 3 copies of Psy Reflector. 3 copies of Assault Sentinel, which I will actually change to Assault Beast because I found Beast to be a lot better. 1 copy of Red Dragon Archfiend Assault Mode. 1 copy of TG Halberd Cannon Assault Mode. 1 Assault Mode 0. 3 copies of Assault Mode Activate. And 3 copies of Assault Reboot. This is just a side deck for when I have to go first, because I found the Assault variant to be better going first than that currently is. But that is it for my Red Dragon Archfiend deck profile. If you have any ideas of what I can do to make the deck better, feel free to comment below. And thanks for watching.